Hi, I'm Jessica Rose. Love's plans on spreading their love further with the opening of 40 more new stores, and a federal judge has indefinitely blocked a new California labor law from applying to more than 70,000 independent truckers.
Hi, I'm David Compton. We've got a crazy video of a trucker apparently sticking to his New Year's resolution to get healthy. And speaking of health, I speak to Bob Perry on the tips you can put to use if you have a DOT medical exam coming up.
Hi, I'm Craig Maltman. A new study shows that road rage is pretty much a common thing in America on all highways. And in tech news, Trimble acquires Cubics, a transportation management system provider and creator of North America's largest connected shipping community. All this, plus our Catskill Rig of the Week on this edition of the Trucker News Channel.
Hey, this is Jesse James Dupree from Jackal, the Full Throttle Saloon, Jesse James Bourbon. Keep right in here for everything that is about the truck drivers, saluting you, our great American cowboys. Truck Ball Show kicks.
This segment is brought to you by truckjobseekers.com. Looking for the perfect truck driving job? Go to truckjobseekers.com. Love's Travel Stops announced plans to open up to 40 new stores in 2020. The locations will add roughly 2,500 jobs and 3,000 new parking spots to the chain. 2019 was a banner year for Love's, with the company opening its 500th store and raising a record $3.75 million for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The company was founded in Oklahoma City, where it remains family-owned and operated. They currently employ more than 25,000 people at more than 500 locations in 41 states.
Making a New Year's resolution to lose weight is pretty common. Well, we're now 2 weeks into the new year, and I gotta ask you, how's it going? Has your willpower already given up? If so, you need to watch this, as the trucker in this video seems to not easily be swayed by excuses. It appears he's installed an exercise bike in the cab of his rig. Take a look.
A new research report conducted by the Zebra, a leading insurance comparison site, has revealed that 82% of Americans admit to road rage or aggressive driving in the past year. This study is based on a new survey of 987 drivers from all 50 U.S. states. Road rage is incredibly common, with 8 out of 10 drivers admitting to aggressive driving, and roughly 90% of drivers say that they have witnessed someone else doing it. The most common aggressive driving and road rage behavior is honking to show anger or frustration, with 59% reporting that they do so. Next on this list is changing lanes without signaling, 45%, and yelling, cursing at another driver or pedestrian, 42%. Additionally, 7% of drivers have left their vehicle to confront another driver. 6% went as far as to get in a physical altercation with another driver, and 5% have forced another driver off the road.
A federal judge has indefinitely blocked a new California labor law from applying to more than 70,000 independent truckers, deciding it is preempted by federal rules on interstate commerce. The state law that took effect January 1st makes it harder for companies to classify workers as independent contractors instead of employees who are entitled to minimum wage and benefits such as workers' compensation. The judge granted the California Trucking Association a preliminary injunction, indefinitely extending his earlier temporary restraining order until the association's challenge is ultimately resolved in months or years. The broad focus of the state law has been on rideshare companies such as Uber and Lyft, and food delivery companies like DoorDash and Postmates, which are also challenging the law in court and at the ballot box. But other groups contend they are victims of unintended consequences, including freelance writers and photographers who filed their own lawsuit. The Trucking Association's chief executive, Sean Yaden, called the preliminary injunction a significant win for truckers who may have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in trucks that must meet the state's strict environmental standards.
Trimble announced it signed an agreement to acquire Cubix, a transportation management system provider and creator of North America's largest connected shipping community. This acquisition will result in Trimble's private and commercial carrier customers, including more than 1.3 million North American trucks, to connect with Cubix Shipping Company network of 21,000 carriers and companies. The result, according to Trimble officials, will be a new platform for planning, executing, and matching freight demand capacity. The transaction is expected to close in the first quarter of 2020. Financial terms were not disclosed. Cubix will operate within Trimble's transportation sector of services.
This week's Rig of the Week goes to Bobby McDonald of Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Bobby's with SM Trucking, where he mostly does step deck hauling of lumber and equipment. Bobby's been an owner-operator for the last couple years, but he's been trucking for 22 years in total. He's usually out on his 2018 Peterbilt 389 for a couple weeks at a time, but when he's home, he likes to go out riding quads with his girlfriend. It's a beautiful rig, Bobby. Congratulations. If you have a rig you'd like to profile here on the Catscale Rig of the Week, send us a video to rigoftheweek@thetrucker.com.
Time is money, and Catscale can help your drivers save time weighing. Drivers know their axle and gross weights before pulling off the scale, and Catscale weights are always guaranteed. Drivers get back on the road faster with the Weigh My Truck app from Catscale.
Getting healthy and staying healthy out there on the road is important to all drivers. And maybe some of you have an upcoming DOT medical exam. Well, we sat down with Fit to Pass Bob's Perry to get some tips on what you can do when it's time to see the doc. Take a look. What can I do to prepare for this medical exam? Is there anything that I can do to stack the deck in my favor?
Absolutely. What you want to be able to do is you want to make sure you are in front of it and doing the preliminary, like if you did go recently, you may have an idea that my blood pressure might be a little elevated. Might have some sugar issues. You need to understand that, and how do I combat that, right? How do I get in front of it? I tell drivers all the time, you don't drive your rig down the road at night with your lights out, right? So manage your health the same way, get in front of it. I tell you, the most common mistake that I have drivers make when they come in before they do their DOT exam, they think smoking calms them down, right? Relaxes them. And it's the opposite. It elevates your blood pressure. You don't want that. And you want to make sure you're hydrated, well hydrated, keeps your levels in check. Make sure you're eating properly and good foods, right? Make sure you got some good protein in your belly the morning before, and every day you should. And rest and be ready when you go in. And we all get a little anxious, right? And you heard of the white coat syndrome. Sure. It's a fact. My previous life, I managed and ran medical clinics at truck stops for that, to work with drivers doing their DOT recertification and new certification. And they come in and they can be a little anxious. So it's important that you don't have yourself, as we call, on the bubble, right? That you're feeling confident, you're alert, you're ready to go in and take care of the task.
Right. So I've already heard, they've already told me, I'm the new guy. They've already said about the skills test and the written test. And they already said, study, 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 practice, practice, practice. Okay, but I was born with this body, okay? So I'm not going to become Arnold Schwarzenegger in 3 weeks, okay? So what happens if I fail?
Well, first part of that is the good thing is you have to worry about being Arnold, right? Because you're not going to be a bodybuilder. We're talking about just practicing good health measurements, right? And one of the other key tips I can give you when you go in, make sure when you go in, they set you down, you're going to do your blood pressure and so forth. Just find a place in your brain that you can get relaxed and think of something good that makes you feel good and comfortable, right? And keep your legs, go across your legs, sit up straight, relax, breathe comfortably. And in the event, if you do fail, then they're going to ask you to come back. Sometimes, even if it's your blood pressure, for example, a little elevated, they may be generous enough to let you go in the other room and lay down for a few minutes, kind of collect your thoughts, and then retest you. But if they say, sorry, David, not good today, you're depending on what that is and what that looks like, you may have to wait as much as 3 months before you can return. or they may give you 30 days to come back and do another test, or they may let you come back. Just depends on what your normals are.
Very cool. Well, thanks for all that info, Bob. It was great. If you're a new driver out there and you're interested about this subject and Bob's company, you can go to the link below. Thanks a lot, Bob.
Thank you, my friend.
If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to click the little red subscribe button below. You can also go to thetrucker.com to read the latest breaking news stories. That's all for this edition. On behalf of David Compton, Craig Maltman, and everyone here at the Trucker News Channel, thanks for watching.